it's more numbers based, but I wanted to trigger a different part of your mind. Let's do the assessment in terms of orange, yellow, and red. And I'm going to walk you through each of these areas. And these are the core areas. If you are effective in these areas, it's very likely that you rate yourself high in the quality of your life and the progress you're making in your business and life. So all these areas, from productivity, persuasion, psychology, physiology, presence, purpose, if you can tackle these areas, it will help you. You don't need to hit all the small little things. They will take care of themselves. And that's why this assessment becomes really powerful. Again, if you want to know that some of the research behind this was done by High Performance Institute, you can go to their website and find out what is the research and the work that has been done in the background, but it is based on quite a bit of research. So what we're going to do is go through each of these and get you to assess yourself. If you're in the orange, you're doing amazing in this area. Yellow, need to put in some effort and energy to improve. Red, not doing great. It is affecting the quality and progress of my life. And the reason why I put it this way is it gives you an idea of where you are without having to think about numbers, and that will, I think, stick a little bit more. And the reason why I have this assessment before the productivity is because it will get you to look at all aspects of your life, even though in productivity, we're going to do another assessment. And it will help you understand how all these other areas are affecting your productivity, because productivity is very much linked with your sense of persuasion or your influence. It's very much linked to your energy. It's very much linked to your sense of presence, to your sense of purpose. So how are these other things affecting productivity for you? We're not just going to look at productivity in a vacuum. So let's jump in. As I walk you through the assessment, I'm also going to share a couple of stories around this, how these areas actually, if people who actually affected people who have gone through a process like this. So the first one is, when you think of this question, where do you rate yourself? Do you feel you're clear about who you are, your purpose, and direction you want to go in life? That clarity determines a lot of your productivity, a lot of your effectiveness. If you don't have that clarity, I don't care how many tools you have, I don't care what's in front of you, you're just going to be doing a lot of busy work. And again, when you hear that question, and we think about your life, just overall, just rate yourself. Am I doing amazing in this area? Do I need to put in some energy and effort in this area, or I'm not doing great at all and it's affecting me? And this is an exercise in honesty for yourself. One of my favorite scholars and teachers, Carl Jung, who's considered one of the fathers of psychology as well. And I think a lot of his work goes back to this, because this was one of his core things, was that the hardest things for every human being is to be honest with themselves. Not necessarily, and there's a lot of talk about be honest with others, and there's a lot of virtue signaling there when it comes, but being honest with yourself requires you to self-assess. And it's a hard process, and an uncomfortable process, instead of pointing finger at others. And this is for you. Is like, when you're honest with yourself, you connect to truth. And that's why they say truth will set you free. But the process of setting you free is an uncomfortable and can be a painful process for a lot of people. And that was when I met Julie. I think this was about, I think it might have been about 6 years ago, something like that. And I worked with her for about 3 years. She was a school teacher who was jumping on to become an investor full-time. And I remember our first session, she had some vision and some ideas about what she wanted to do, but there wasn't a lot of clarity about it. And as we dug deeper, what we developed was a vision, and slowly a strategy to go towards that. And the first step towards that vision was actually starting her podcast, and she was hesitating there. And I still remember, and I could see this potential in her, and it was incredible. I could tell she kind of was like lukewarm about it. I'm like, how does she not see it? And I got her, I gave her a challenge. I'm like, how about you stop thinking about it and just get this started, because it is connected to your vision. Fast forward 6 years later, Julie, as one of the best podcasts in the multifamily space, she's one of the most influential women in the multifamily investing space. if anybody has been in this space long enough, they know Julie. And by the way, follow her, the Conscious Investor podcast. I'm also promoting her, and she actually has an in-person event coming up. I think it's next month. I can't go to that one, but it's the Conscious Investor Summit that she's doing. Incredible place to be at, where she covers finances, investing around that, personal growth, and all sorts of other things. But definitely go to her website. You'll find a lot about her. But the journey that she went on started with a lot of clarity. Now, if you knew her, you would think that she's the most effective person, but she didn't feel effective or productive. Why? Because she didn't have the clarity initially. And that's where it starts, with that clarity with your psychology. How clear are you on that path? So think about it. Do you feel like you are clear about who you are, your purpose, the direction you want to go in life? If you are clear, you're likely doing things that are effective and productive. If you're not, you're likely not doing those things. You're stuck in busy work. So just rate yourself there. Let's go to energy physiology. The question here is, do you consistently have enough mental and physical energy needed to excel, accomplish your goals, and feel motivated and happy? There's a lot in there. And I see Melissa is like, yes, all right, I love that. That's the energy we want. And if you don't have that energy right now, that's okay. You can work towards that. Now, I'll share the story of Brendan. And now it was interesting. Brendan was sent to me by a client of mine. And they had so this client of mine, they were part of a community for I think close to a year, and they knew Brendan had huge amount of potential to jump into entrepreneurship and do his own thing, and he kept saying that I need to do my own thing, but he couldn't move forward. And this client of mine, of course, she was very caring. She's like, can you just do at least one session with him? I have a feeling you might be able to help him. So I got on a call with him. We did a long call. It was a discovery call that we did, and he got a lot out of it. I actually didn't hear from him for about 6 months. So this the same client sends me another message. Hey, can you work with this other person? I don't know what the hell you did with Brendan, but he jumped in right after your call. And I'm like, well, really? Because I didn't hear from him. So I had been following up with Brendan for a while, and then I sent him a message and like, hey, I just heard from her, and he's like, I'm so happy that you're moving forward. And it wasn't that, oh, come back work with me. I was just really happy, and I sent her a message, send him a message, and he's like, oh, that session was so incredible. It completely changed my life around. It was one session. And he told me he was meaning to message me, but what we went through gave him so much that he needed this time to move forward. I'm like, I'm so happy. And then he came back, and we ended up working together for a year. And the biggest thing, the reason why I share this, his block was not because he was not being efficient or anything like that. He didn't have that. He had a lot of physical energy. He was a very fit person, but emotionally he was stuck. Purpose-wise, he was stuck. He didn't know how to unlock himself in that area. As soon as he took ownership, and it was one specific area that he was not taking ownership around, something happened with this energy, and it was very natural for him to move forward. And a lot of that energy might be mental, emotional, or spiritual energy that might be stuck. And so it's not always about physical. A lot of people, we live in a world where everybody talks about fitness and mental health and all kinds of stuff, but very few people actually have those things. They're physically in a good state, and even if they are physically in a good state, emotionally they might be in a really negative state, and they don't know how to get themselves out. So think about it, like, what's your emotional energy, physical energy, mental, and spiritual energy there? Or do you feel motivated every day? Do you feel connected to what you're doing, what you're moving towards? Do you feel connected to that vision that you have for yourself, for your family, for the path that you're on? Or do you feel kind of stuck in that area? So rate yourself there. I'm doing amazing in this area, or need to put in some effort and energy, or not doing great. Again, it's an exercise in honesty. Ask yourself that. And by the way, even if you've done this assessment before, I encourage you to go through this. because this will actually help you. And I encourage everybody, including myself, to do this at least every month, if not more. If you enjoyed that video, make sure you click on this video or this video. It will serve you to move your growth journey forward. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.